In a world as dangerous as this one, the leaking of sensitive or even top secret information is particularly heinous. Leaks not only endanger lives, they jeopardize national strategies that keep our country safe. That's why the leaks have to stop. Here for analysis is a man whose life literally depended on secrets being well kept, Daniel Hoffman. He's a three-time CIA station chief who spent a total of 5 years in Moscow. Daniel, good to see you. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for your service. I first want to talk about North Korea, which is in the news. I get a lot of people saying, look, we got a good CIA. Let's use them to take out this crazy nut before he starts a nuclear war, to which you would say what?
Well, I would begin by saying this, that we have really three concerns about North Korea with their nuclear arsenal. First, that they might use their nuclear weapons. But secondly, there's an issue of proliferation, that they could proliferate those nuclear weapons to state or non-state actors with nefarious designs on our homeland. And third, in the event of a war in the Korean Peninsula, there could be a loose nuke scenario, which would also be quite dangerous.
But if we take this guy out, Kim specifically,
right,
isn't it conceivable that we could talk turkey with the generals who would be left alive?
It's a risky endeavor. You could certainly try to drive a wedge and break the hold of the regime on the population and the regime on its nuclear weapons. But that is a risky endeavor, and you better know where all the nuclear weapons are beforehand, because they could certainly launch those that we don't successfully target.
Well, talk about risk. The people who are leaking top secrets are risking all of our lives, but specifically they're risking the lives of people like you, are they not? I mean, have lives been put in danger by the leakers?
Well, I spent my whole career trying to protect human sources because there are foreign intelligence services ruthlessly hunting for these people. They're looking for illegal disclosures of sensitive information in our media, trying to expose our sources and methods. And in addition, when human sources see that information is leaked, it degrades their trust in us.
And they can also reverse engineer and figure out where the leaks came from, right? They can track down the sources that gave that information.
Absolutely. From my experience serving in Russia, that's exactly what the Russians do.
So
yes,
they're endangering lives. All right. Let's talk about Russia now, because you know it very well. The Russian lawyer, we have Manafort in the situation because Donald Trump Jr. set up this meeting with a Russian lawyer. Her name is Natalia Veselnitskaya, I think is her name. She's clearly a spook, right? Don't you think that she's a Russian agent? I
wouldn't necessarily call her a Russian intelligence officer. What I would say is I would call her, in our parlance, a fellow traveler.
Okay.
Doing the bidding of the Kremlin as a lawyer.
But the interesting thing is that she was not only bidding to those who were supportive of Donald Trump, she was also working with, at various times, Fusion GPS, which is a service that came out with the Trump dossier that was putting out stuff against Trump. So isn't it fair to say that the Russians, rather than working for one side in the U.S. election, were working against both sides? They just wanted to create chaos in our electoral system.
The conclusion that I've drawn thus far, based on the evidence, is that what Russia wanted was to soil our democratic institutions, and in particular our electoral process.
They're always looking, even going back to the 80s and before that, they're looking to discredit our system in the eyes of the American public, are they not?
Right. Vladimir Putin has one eye or both eyes set on March 2018 when he will stand for election. And what he's ultimately concerned about is his own regime security,
right,
and he's cognizant that his own opponents, many of whom will risk their lives protesting on the streets of Russia, derive their ideological inspiration from the United States. He wants to degrade that.
Simple final question. We only have 10 seconds. Any evidence of any collusion between the Trump administration and the Russians?
I haven't seen any evidence, no.
Daniel Hoffman, great to have you on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.